Pluto versus Jupiter in this big opposition that is showing in the sky. What's mine versus shared. This is I think, the challenge that we are going to have and the world is going to be facing. So I will explain to you in this video what this aspect, okay, of tension is going to do to make is what is going to be happening in the world and all the things that we are seeing happening right now in terms of the weather, the big climate crisis, and also the big depression in terms of economy finances that is coming. So you can be prepared with this information wherever you are. This is going to be affecting every one of us in the world because something is changing and it's changing from from the basis, and the earth is also manifesting the the movements, the moment, the inventions also of this transition from a world that we known and this world that we are now entering, and everything is shifting so fast, so quickly, and we are right now in the, I think, in the place where we are so close to the start of eclipses season. So this is also a moment where everything is going to be in shock, a big shock, because something in the foundations of societies and power is changing, and the global, I think, the global conflicts are going to be growing and maybe spreading all around the world, and we have to know where we are standing on. So, if you are new, I invite you to subscribe and share and also to leave me a comment so you can help me to make this channel to grow. And we are going to talk about, as I said before, of Jupiter versus Pluto. Okay, Jupiter recently enters in Leo. I left a video here in this channel so you can go and see it, because I also been speaking about this super Nino phenomena, and you are seeing right now everything that is happening in the world with these catastrophes, and nature that is showing us the power that she have, and this is really important. So there are I think that the last two videos that I made, I talk about everything that you are seeing now happening. Okay, so Jupiter in Leo, and Jupiter is now showing the sun because the sun also is in Leo right now. Okay, and we see Pluto in Aquarius. Okay, and the axis that is affected is the axis number the 2 and 8. Okay, the axis 2 8, that is related with economy, finances, and debts. So this is something important because I think the world is going to a big crash, a big depression, and we are going to see that in the markets. Everything that is related with the chains of productions and food, and also I think the water is going to be an issue in the future. Okay, so Pluto is in the 4th degree, Jupiter in the 4th degree. Also, we have Neptune in the 4th degree, we have Uranus in the 4th degree. And this is important also because the 4th degree is a representative of the 4th house. And what happened in the 4th house? The 4th house is the house of the people, okay? Because it's the house of the moon. The moon in mundane astrology or social astrology is the people, societies. It's also talking about the identity of belonging, sense of patriotism, nationalism. Is also the quality of life, condition of life. It's also the climate. So this is not, like a random thing. Every planet is right now, the biggest one are in the 4th degree in this concept of a process that is going to be showing us how this foundation, of our societies are in a moment of transition. We are right now in between two realities and two worlds, okay? And the astrology is always perfect and is showing us this in the skies. So Pluto in the second house, as I said before, okay, Pluto is disintegration and transformation, the destruction of the resources of the earth. This is a process of this of I think this is a process of destruction, but in itself, like I think that is something related with the resources of nature and everything that is related with economy and finances, as I said, but also is talking about the resources at the chains of food, agriculture, water, and everything that is related with the basic resources. Okay, so this is bigger than we think, or this is bigger than we are understanding now. Okay, I think and I feel, like the people is not taking real, real conscience about what is happening with the ecosystem, because the earth is our home. So is also the earth the representation of the fourth house. Okay, so also we are seeing like Jupiter enters in Leo, and he did his amazing entering, like in a really bad cosmic aspect, I have to say. And I saw a lot of astrologers and people talking about that now the blessings are coming and everything is shining, and I don't agree with that, because we have to understand that Jupiter is not like the benefactor of himself. It's like he is a planet that make the expansion of everything that he touches, but we have to know with which aspects he is entering or changing sign, like, because he is entering in Leo with an opposition with Pluto direct, also is in a square to Chiron that has recently entered also in Toro, and Toro is also the resources, is the earth, is the finances. And I left here in this channel also a video where I talk about the big depression that Chiron in Toro is going to be showing in terms of economies all around the world. And I also talk about some aspects of Chiron in Toro in the past and what things we saw. And we have, for example, the Big Depression in the 30s in United States. So you can have an idea of the magnitude of the problem. Okay, so as I said, Jupiter enters there with an opposition direct with Pluto, and this is a big planet. Okay, and also is squaring Chiron in Toro. So he is not entering like in a happy moment, And also we have to understand that in the 26th, that is today's from now, we are having the change of the axis of the lunar nodes, and that is something so spectacular, I think, because we have to know that the south lunar node, that is the more difficult, the more aggressive node, um, is in Leo also, and he will be join Jupiter there. So everything that is closing is going to be in a big screen. It's going to be something so big that we, every one of us, the world entirely, is not going to be able to, to hide something that is going to be so obvious, so enormous, So that's why I think that Leo is in every aspect of Leo is something that is closing. And for astrology, mundane astrology, for example, Leo is talking about leaders, is talking about institutions of power, is talking about the states as power, is talking about famous people, like Hollywood people, singers all around the world, everything that is related with sports, people in the media, YouTubers also, everyone that is exposed to some kind of fame or knowing, So, as I said before, that this Jupiter is in a very bad aspect, a cosmic aspect. We are going to see volcanoes exploding, earthquakes, fires, wildfires, wars that are going to be uh, exploding again. I don't think that the peace is something that we are going to be seeing near from here, and I think that more conflicts are coming. So paying attention, okay? Um, so the house of finances, where is Pluto, but also, as I said, the resources. Also, every country that have debts, this is going to be also in the big screen, because the eighth house is where we have taxes and where we have debt. So the nations that are with some kind of problems, financially speaking, this is something that they are going to be having to take some decision, some measure, responsibility of this. And we are going to see like something that is going to happen, in some shocking way, some explosive way, okay? uh, and we are going to see the real estate, financially speaking, of the nations and things, okay? So this model that we have been seeing in the past, and now is like taking a side, of the well-being state, is no longer going to be possible, okay? And also we have to understand that taxes can be in a moment of growth, I think inflation also everywhere. And I think that um, the danger is for the people, for societies. Why? Because everything that the leaders are going to be trying to resolve, like take care of, but what about if they are going to be putting that pressure in us, or on us, in terms of increasing taxes and I don't know, different strategies for covered debt, but this is going to the people, and as I always said, the people is the only one who every time is like losing something, So also we have to understand that Jupiter in 8 is talking about the laws of the earth, everything that is related with real estate, credits, also is about the big capitals, in this bad state we are talking about the superabundance of natural events and catastrophes. We also are going to see the crisis, the international crisis, expanding everywhere. Disputes and everything related with boundaries, in between countries and immigrants. Okay, so also this is a Pluto that is in an opposition with the Sun. Okay, because right now the Sun is joining Jupiter there, so the Sun is the representative of the leaders, presidents, everyone that is in positions of power, So the action of these leaders, I think that they are like in a they are having this, this is, these statements of protectionism, and we are going to be taking care of our nation and everything that is. But I think those statements, those words are simply something that they are saying because they want to explain some way everything that is happening. And in the final scene they are not like solving anything, so this is only a speech. That's what I want to say. This is only something that they say, but it's not something that you are going to see in a tangible way, so but this is going to be exposed, this is going to be seen everywhere, for every one of us. And the I think that this bad bad attitude or aptitude of the leaders trying to control the moment or the situation, that is happening, and is going to be is being so fast, it's kind of they are losing control of everything. So we are also seeing here that we have Neptune in the fourth house. The fourth house, remember, that is where the people are, and the uncertainty. We are seeing a context of chaos and conflicts, and I think that people is in a moment of uncertainty where we don't know for sure that the war is going to be over, or the conditions of these catastrophes in the climate are going to be controlled and taking some I don't know, some actions about it, some measures about it. Also is everything related with economies and finances going up and down, and we are seeing like a big shock in the markets going up and down, and this is the uncertainty of the situation itself, I think that this is also going to be reflected in our quality of life and conditions of life. So is a moment of uncertainty, and not a clear point of view for the future. We also have what I like to call the T square in the sky, okay? And the T square is one of the worst aspects of astrology, the more fearless, And this is, you can see, is taking the moon in a position with Saturn in a square with Mercury, and Mercury squaring the moon. And you can see here that the moon is in the 11th house, okay? And in every chart that I've been studying for these videos and these presentations, the moon always is in some place where is more the place of people in power, people that are commanding, like the 11th house is the house of Senate, is the house of people in protests, massive movements of people, um, and the 10th house is the house where is the power, the politics. And the moon is taking place, I think here is a protagonism, of spaces and places where she wants to be heard. Okay, so I think the people is going to be in a very mood, of rebellion, anarchy, I think, because we have to remember that Pluto is in Aquarius, and the last time that Pluto was there, we have the French Revolution, and I think that something is going to happen, likely, that moment. And the thing that is the most important for me is that people is not believing anymore in the institutions, in, as I said, in the state of well-being, like in the leaders that are leading us to somewhere, the people is losing credibility in the words that the leaders said or say. I think the moon is in a process where it's going to be more and more active, and we are going to see something, like assemblies, maybe people like joining groups, taking some decisions, communities, sustainable communities and independent communities, and this sense of anarchy again. Okay. Um, we have to understand also that the Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius is always this, the ruler is Uranus, and Uranus is not a planet that is going to be, like saying, okay, I I have this notion or sense of maybe that I can adapt to the norms or the rules, or the forms. Is on the contrary, Uranus is rebellion, So it's explosion, is the sense of freedom also. So I think the moon is going to be increasing, likely, this this attitude, this sense of I want to be free, and the Jupiter in Leo with the South lunar node and the eclipses there is a fight in between those leaders who wants to, have the crown, and they are so self-centered, like saviors of the world, and this uh, uh, South lunar node is close in a cycle for that kind of representation, and is opening something in front of it that is Aquarius, and Aquarius is the group, is a community. So I think we are going to be seeing models of leadership for the future that are most, involved with the communities, with the people in the neighborhood, with maybe, like this kind of collaboration, leadership in between states, or maybe cities, or maybe, these kind of things. And I think also that this South lunar node and the first eclipse that we are going to have in Leo, that is happening in August the 12th, I think, is that day, depending where you are in the world. And the South lunar node is saying, because Leo is a sign of the sun, so it's the sign of leaders, like the institutions. So this is a cycle of closure with the international national institution. This is a big institutional crisis, and we are going to see this everywhere. Okay, so as I said before, with this T square in the sky, okay, uh, we have the moon squaring Mercury, squaring Saturn, Saturn in opposition with the moon. And the moon is in the 11th house, is manifesting, what what she wants. Is She wants to be heard. So I think that we are going to see movements of people, masses, maybe protests, maybe, people in the streets. Okay, those kind of things. And the moon is in an opposition with Saturn, and Saturn is control, boundaries, restriction. Okay, and Saturn is in the 5th house, your liberty of expression, your creativity, your capability of being out there, doing things. So the 5th house is the house of the expression, the self-expression. So Saturn there is saying that something is coming, where I think the leaders are going to be trying to control people, and the manifestations, the words. I think this is going to be also related with maybe the media, maybe streamers, maybe the control or legislation of AI, or something like this. They want to control the people, before the people explodes. That is the thing. Okay, but I think that the people, and this moon is not willing to, you know, to take this control uh, as an answer. I think that this is something that is unstoppable, and the people is going to be um, making everything that is possible to be heard. Okay, so we also, as I said, Saturn, the seeking of control, of the people, um, disguised as this, this elegant phrases like, I don't know, this is the best for a country, or this is, like these statements of protectionism, as I said, and it's only a disguise. This is not for real. It's not true. It's only something that they are going to be wanting to play, to psychologically manipulate you. Okay, so be careful what you hear and what you believe right now. Okay, so this is the, also we have, if you can see here, Uranus in the 6th house. I think we are going to be some kind of massive protest, working people, maybe also this rebellion in front of the institutions of power. Okay. Um and we have also here Mars that is in a square with Venus in the 10th house. That is also talking about that the war is not over, it's not going to be over, not near soon. I think that this is going to be increasing, and also I think that we can see more actors there, more countries, more conflicts, more. This is something that is going to be spreading all around the world. I don't think that Iran and United States are going to have some deal, some kind of deal. Not right now, and now not in the next month, I think, because Mars is war, is aggression, and also is the enemy that you have in front of you, and is saying uh, the words in your face. Like this is the enemy who have a microphone and say to you to your face. Okay, this is not somebody who is hiding. Okay, and Venus is diplomacy, is peace, is agreements, but in a square with Mars. So this is a fight. Okay, this is a point of disagreement specifically in between the international relationships that are represented in the seventh house, where is Mars, and the 10th house, that is the house where is the politician and the people that, the leaders and everything that is there. So the geopolitical conflict is going to increase. Okay, I don't see any agreements for right now. And we also see the moon, okay, that is in a trine or trigon with Mars. These kind of decisions and impositions are going to be activating the moon. As I said before, the moon is going to be the first declared enemy of the leaders, the representatives, the institutions of power, and the moon is not hiding. It's not going to be hiding. It's going to be out there showing the discomfort. Okay. Also, we have here the sun with Jupiter in the eighth house. A lot of famous people that are dying, going, ending the scene. Okay, and we are going to see more and more of this. I also think that a lot of people can fall down in mm, you know in their credibility, or maybe that aspect of people that maybe everyone admires, but when they show something that is maybe kind of dark, I think they can lose some respect also. So I think this is talking about losses of people, because it's the eighth house. The eighth house is the house of death, so can be losses of people, and this is not something, I don't see it like something tragic. I think that is something, or maybe could happen that someone uh, die in some tragic event. Okay, that could happen, but I see here with this south lunar node cycles that are closing. People that maybe is going to be retiring from the scene, from the big screen. Maybe, like I said, maybe people in sports, or singers, or somebody in the news, in the media, everywhere. I think this is a moment of closure of this fame, and this also is a closure of our sense of fame. Okay, because we are changing the things that we value, and maybe people are not going to be relating so much with those idols that are so up there, like something unachievable for us, and maybe people will be identifying with some normal common people like you and me, and we are creating communities, and maybe that is the new uh, ideal, of fame, if you want. But it's not something leonine and, like this king with the crown, and everyone is, like showing respects and clapping and everything. Okay, so something like that is the end of leaders and um, old ways and standards of powers. Um, Also, we have to know that this is a moment where the leaders are in danger everywhere. So, specifically Donald J. Trump in the United States, but the leaders also are in some kind of danger, uh, and everyone that is in those aspects of famous and exposure kind of life. Well, as I said before, Venus is in the 10th house in Virgo, so she's analyzing the reality. This is the Excel of the reality, numbers, the measures of things, squaring Mars. So, agreements, peace are not closing right now because the interests are not closing. Okay, this is not something like they cannot get to some agreement. Ideologically speaking, this is a conflict of interests. Okay, so we can see here the ascendant or rising sign in Sagittarius, and the ruler of that is Jupiter again. Okay, Jupiter, and also Sagittarius is a sign of international relationships, is a sign of institutions, the law, judges, faith, religious institutions, leaders of religious institutions. Is also Sagittarius is borders, migration, immigration, is also commercial and relationship between countries, and we are seeing a lot of violent changes, so drastic everywhere. um, Also, we have to understand that this big crisis, is climate crisis, is really destructive, and this is only starting. So I have to say that this is not everything, okay, because I hear some people that is kind of afraid, scared, because this is really getting strong, and I think this is only a starting. Okay, I think that we didn't see, or we didn't see the worst already. So be prepared for that, okay? And the economies and finances, breakdowns of, I think in everything that is related with enterprises, or bigger firms or something like that. Um, Sagittarius rules international relationship, boundaries, immigrants, great capitals. Okay, um, everything that is related with the commercial relationship, institutions, justice, faith. Everything is exploding in a big global shift. So then we are going to be entering. Now we are in the Leo season, and this is going to be expanding and intensifying a lot more. So I already have to say this again, but I think that this is recently started. So I will make some more videos about these things and information, because something is shifting in the world. You can see it, you can feel it also in your own life, and I think that the astrological information is helping us to understand the moment, the timing, and how we can be prepared for everything that is coming. So thank you all for watching, and I see you in the next video.